Greetings, foolish mortals. 'Tis I, Cat Lunicia, on many different sites. I am going to do something a little different for this video. Instead of using my typical Silent Hill meets metal music that I use from E-Rock, I'm going to actually read you a story. That is actually, the story is of Centralia. I hope I'm saying that right. Which was used as the inspiration for the town of Silent Hill in the movies, and possibly the games. Still arguments about that. This will be from the Ripley's Believe It or Not website. I will put a link in the description. Let us begin. On May 27th, 1962, the people of Centralia, Pennsylvania, put into motion a course of action that would have ramifications that would be continued to be felt to this day. It was Sunday. The citizens of Centralia were getting ready for the Memorial Day festivities to take place a day later, but there was a problem they still hadn't dealt with: cleanup of a landfill before the celebration. The city's council had met earlier that month to discuss the best way to go about cleaning the 300-foot wide, 70-foot long pit, and they decided on fire. This isn't surprising. Burning trash was the common practice then. The only problem is that Centralia had a major coal mining area in the past, and the landfill was located on top of the old coal mine. They set fire on May 25th. Using hoses, they sprayed the flames to keep the fire under control, and they waited for the smoldering trash to burn itself out. Little did they know they'd be waiting for 54 years. Extinguishing efforts. The fire latched onto to an old coal seam from the mine and slowly spread throughout the mines under the city. Even though the visible flames were doused through the day on the 25th, the fires were spotted on May 29th. The pattern of putting out fires and finding them spouting up again days later would continue for weeks, and when there weren't visible fires, residents complained about the constant smell of smoldering trash and coal. Authorities tried for years to extinguish the fire. They pumped into the mines often. They covered the surface with clay to seek to smother the blaze. They pumped a slurry of ash, water, and rocks into the mine, but nothing worked. Eventually, they had no choice but to give up on the city, and the city was condemned. The Centralia mine fire had led to the city having to be abandoned. Families relocated to the neighboring towns. As of 2013, there were only 7 residents allowed to remain in the day. The surface of the streets is no longer hot like they were, since the fire has moved down deeper into the earth, but smoke can still be found creeping out of the ground in its place. The ground has been so weakened by half a century of fire that a sinkhole can open up anywhere at any moment. Portions of Route 61 have been closed and redirected since it's not safe to drive. And since coal produces deadly carbon monoxide, the air isn't safe to breathe around in certain areas. Mine fires are burning on every continent except Antarctica, but not all of them result in a ghost town outcome that happened in Centralia. Believe it or not, this, my friend, is the town, Centralia, that was used for the inspiration in the Silent Hill movies. You may see it now even more often. Thank you for listening to this video, and tell me what you thought about it. Good night.